When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Aloe or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does online business better than Shopify. It's home of Shop Pay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. That's shopify.com/income.
Hilton brings you new ways to stay, with experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
This podcast contains adult themes and language, and some of the things that we discuss may be disturbing to some listeners. In this podcast, we discuss sexual assault, torture, race, and murder. Listener discretion is advised. Please take care of yourself.
Fruities, welcome to our newest segment, Love You, Byeee. I'm Wendy, and that's Beth.
Hello.
And this is going to be basically a bi-weekly minisode, and we're here for just some fun, informal chit-chat and bullshit and catching up. It's a work in progress.
Yes, so if you're listening to this and you have an idea for us, what we should cover or talk about, get at us.
Yeah. Okay, hello, I'm Wendy. Welcome, and that's Beth, and together we host Fruitloops.
Hello.
Yeah, hey. Together we host Fruitloops, Serial Killers of Color, and today you are tuning into Love You, Byeee. We're just two bi-coastal true crime podcast pals doing our weekly check-in. So
doing
good
our
to be
thing.
nafi. Yeah, bienvenidos, bitches, and thank you for being here and listening. So, Beth, I love you. Hello.
I love you too. It's been a rough week, but mostly work related. I know work has been rough for you lately too.
So rough.
So
Girl,
rough.
Last night my phone was ringing while I was in bed. I had brushed my teeth.
God.
And
that is some
inadvertently
bullshit.
answered it. Yeah. Oh my
no.
God.
Why are they calling you so
I
late?
don't know. I gotta reinforce those boundaries. I'm sorry, but yes, work is crazy for you too. What else?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, home life is good.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, the world is burning, but aside from that.
The world is burning. Yes, it is.
But I sometimes dip into that and sometimes dip out. So
Yeah. Thank you for saying that. To your point, I also feel like the word I would use is disconnected. Like to me, it felt like it was a slow news week until I had to prepare for this. And I was like, what? Keep your hands off my protests. What? Tariffs? Because it previously, last time we recorded this version of the episode, it was like it was already too much. So I have disconnected.
Kind of disconnected.
Yeah. And so it didn't seem like there was a lot going on. And old Whitey turned 50. He's 50 years old.
Happy birthday, old Whitey.
Yeah. So we went to the beach, and
nice.
The beaches on this side of the country, girl, are incredible.
Yeah.
It was just so beautiful, and I had a gummy or two on the beach, and it was wonderful. It was crazy, and I am fascinated by the Atlantic Ocean, mostly because of the history of the ocean and the transatlantic slave trade.
Right.
And the idea that so many enslaved people were kidnapped and put on these ships. And I think I shouted out the podcast that I listened to about the, explorers looking for these shipwrecks.
That's right. Yeah.
And so I've been thinking a lot about
what was the name of that one again?
Oh, boy. I don't have my phone, but I can go to the old episode here. It was called National Geographic Into the Depths.
Into the Depths. Yeah, yes. I think I did subscribe, but I forgot about it.
Well, this is a recommendation to go listen to it, because it had me thinking a lot about the Atlantic Ocean and my ancestors and what they went through. And so my grandmother used to always say that the sea was healing. And so I really felt like being at the ocean and getting in the water felt like healing. And I was like, old Whitey has chronic pain. So I was like, hey, are my ancestors healing your chronic pain? You know, he's swimming. So anyway.
Well, the Atlantic Ocean is so warm.
Yeah.
Compared to the Pacific Ocean. Yeah. It's so nice.
It's so warm, but like it feels a lot more treacherous than the Pacific.
Really?
Well, I mean, I never worried about sharks on the Pacific Ocean, but I feel like sharks are probably a concern. I never worried about alligators, but there are alligators.
Yeah.
And I never worried about jellyfish, but we found a couple, just like things like that I never thought about as a beach-going kid growing up in California.
Right. Yeah.
But we had a lot of fun. And then old Whitey went for a bike ride and found a turtle in the middle of the road. So we have a box turtle now.
Oh, wow. You're going to have a whole zoo.
I'm telling you, girl, this whole garden, grow your own food, take care of the animals, like, respect the earth, respect living things is freaking awesome. I heard this phrase on a podcast the other day called, like, just make your own reparations, which is what it feels like I'm doing. Like, I am slowly becoming more self-sufficient. And the point of moving here was to find a farm and buy it and then start farming.
Right.
We haven't got there yet.
Right.
But we have a home. We have a yard.
Yeah. And you're trying things out.
Exactly.
I mean, you're not going to know what you're doing at first. So
not at all.
That's what my daughter and I are growing plants too. And we don't know what we're doing. So, we're trying things out.
That's kind of the beauty of it. And trying something out, not being good at it, and still doing it is
learning
fun and
from your mistakes. And
very distracting from whatever the fuck is going on outside in the streets of the United States. So I was going to ask, do you know anything about these hands-off protests?
Oh, yeah, I did know about them.
Okay, because I'm in the 92% of Black women, and if it's about the federal government, you all can have it. I saw a lot of protests in the streets. Didn't see a lot of Black people in those protests. They were diverse, but I didn't see a lot of Black people. So
so it was on April 5th. There's protests all across the country.
Okay.
And I did not go. I had something else I had to do.
Yeah.
But I also have, as we discussed, been feeling kind of disengaged.
Sure.
And I also, I went to protests during the first administration.
We went together, girl.
We went
remember?
To a couple of them.
Yeah.
And
brought our kids. You brought your grandkids. Yeah.
And I just feel like, I don't know.
Nobody was
apathy.
listening?
Yeah, nobody was listening.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing, my little mini protest, is watching who I buy from.
Ooh.
Where I spend my money.
Smart.
And there's an app called Goods Unite Us. And it's
also
a website.
To not have my phone. Okay, Goods Unite Us.
Goods Unite Us. There's also a website. You can look up companies and it'll tell you if they contributed to a Republican campaign or a Democratic campaign, or if they didn't contribute at all. And they give them a score. So I've been using that to decide who I want to.
My phone?
Oh.
It is in here. Wait a minute.
It was here the whole time.
It was here the whole time.
That's hilarious.
You, friend. I'm so sorry.
I should have called you.
Wow. Okay, so you know how I've said before, I get stuck on something and I can't move on. And so you said there was an app.
Yes.
And I want
You want to Okay, it's called Goods Unite Us.
Goods Unite Us. Okay, would you laugh at me if I said I lost my phone again? Okay, here it is.
In fact, I would laugh at you, and I just
that's
did.
okay. Goods Unite Us. That's okay. I'm used to it. Here we go. Goods Unite Us.
Yeah, so I've been using that app to decide where I want to spend my money.
That's so smart.
And I have been very careful about what I buy and where I spend. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's fantastic. So what places are you proud to shop at? Do you have any of those on the list?
Costco.
Hell yeah.
Costco.
Hell yeah.
Big one. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't shop at Target anymore. I actually have not looked them up on that app, but since they got rid of their DEI program, I
fuck them.
Just like fuck you, Target.
Get them out of here.
So,
yeah, get them out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, Goods Unite Us has been installed on my cellular phone device thingy. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Add it to the list of not how not to get murdered, but how to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
How to keep it together.
I don't know if it's doing any good, but, it makes me feel better.
I do think it does good. I think that, especially in a country and in a world like today, capitalism, money speaks volumes, right? You want to find what somebody cares about, follow the money. And if you want to get politicians and people who make decisions to move, fuck with the money. So by, being wise with our dollars, I think is a way to do that. It takes longer. I'm always, whenever we have these conversations, I think about the Montgomery bus boycott, which took over a year, or the calls against apartheid, which took a long time. So we just keep fighting.
Yeah. Fighting in my little way.
Uh-oh. The last cookie.
You can get a new box of cookies in as fast as an hour with Walmart Express Delivery.
Are you my guilty self-conscience?
No, I'm the voice offering you promo code EXPRESS for free delivery on your first order.
Hey, who ate my cookies?
You mean, these cookies?
Order now. Welcome to your Walmart. Promotion valid for first express delivery order. $50 minimum subject to availability. Restrictions apply.
Spring is here, and you can now get almost anything you need for your sunny days delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get a chicken parmesan delivered. A cabana? That's a no. But a banana? That's a yes. A nice tan? Sorry, nope. But a box fan? Happily yes. A day of sunshine? No. A box of fine wines? Yes. Uber Eats can definitely get you that. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details.
Okay, but what were all these people protesting?
Oh, just Trump and Elon Musk.
Yeah. Okay.
It was hands off my government or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm an ally of the hands off my government.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
I did think about going, but as I said, I did have something to do that day.
Mm-hmm.
I probably could have made arrangements to do it, but as I said, I've been feeling kind of apathetic. I mean, I'm really mad about what's going on, of course, but I just feel like I can't do anything about it. And
and remember, Steve Bannon said that's the point. Flooding the zone and the cruelty is the point. They want us to, and it's working, right? They want us to get overwhelmed, and
apathetic, and
exactly,
all that.
And I think taking breaks and doing things that bring you joy and taking rest is also a form of resistance and part of the process. So I don't think you should feel bad. I also kind of am getting a sense of like, you're like, okay, I was going to go. Like, I want you to know it's okay if you didn't go. Because
I feel guilty that I didn't go, but I also,
I don't think that you should.
Trying to talk myself down.
Because I don't feel guilty again, because, the 92% thing I think is fun. Right. Black women do kind of feel we've been fighting for this country and saving it from itself for a really long time, and nobody seems to have been listening.
Nobody listens.
Right.
Yeah. And I also feel like nothing is going to happen until the MAGA people realize that they're getting fucked too.
Yeah. I
don't feel like anything's going to, I mean, we can protest all the time and they don't give a shit until the MAGA people realize that they're getting fucked. And they start protesting. That's when something will change.
Yeah. The problem is that seems like it's going to be a while.
It's not going to happen.
In the meantime, y'all, buckle up. Buckle up. Get your victory gardens going. If anybody knows how to start electricity. Oh, yeah.
I was hoping the tariffs going through and,
Tariff Tuesday.
If he pushed us into a recession. Yeah. Maybe the MAGA people would come aboard, but, he rolled them back.
Yeah, like almost immediately. And I heard one pundit say this is like insider trading, but like government style.
Yeah, so the theory is he did it on purpose to, tank the stock market. And then on the day that the tariffs were supposed to roll out, then he's like, oh, oops, sorry, no, we're not going to do that. And then the stock market went back up. So they were able to buy when it was down and then sell when it went back up. But I don't know if I actually do not think that was his plan. I actually think he's just a petty bitch.
Well, speaking of petty, like he is telling law offices who have pursued him on behalf of their clients can't operate anymore.
Yeah. He did what do you call those things? An executive order specifically targeting law offices. Yeah.
That's crazy.
He is such a petty little bitch.
It is crazy. I am just woo. So
all of the things that he was accusing Joe Biden of, he is doing.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. I knew. Yeah. I knew he was going to do these things.
Now, the sentiment over here is, well, this is America. I mean, we shouldn't be surprised. What's the sentiment? How are things on the ground where you are amongst your people?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just kind of enduring right now, I guess.
Yeah.
I did ask our mutual friend. His mom is a Trumper.
Oh.
So I saw him the other day, and it was the day after that he announced the tariffs.
Okay.
And or I don't remember when it was, but the stock market was way down.
Okay.
So I asked him, I was thinking about your mom. How's she doing?
And what'd he say?
He said, we don't really talk about politics because, I don't want to talk about politics with her.
Yeah.
But she did tell him that Trump is a smart businessman, so he must know what he's doing.
Oh.
Yeah.
I am married to a white man, and there are other black women in my family who are also married to white men. And one of them I saw recently at a family function, and I felt like he was trolling me because he was like, he was so happy that Trump was in office. I mean, he was practically shouting it from the rooftops. And he kept asking me, well, what good did Joe Biden do for you? And I just had to be like, this is he's a boomer. He kept saying, convince me. And I said, I don't think that is going to get any of us anywhere. You and I are from completely different backgrounds and live in completely different worlds. And I just don't think it's going to happen. So can I enjoy my lobster tail, please?
Yeah, I would rather not talk about this with you.
Yeah. And I imagine there are a lot of us who have Trumpers in our lives and wrestling with what to do with them. I don't think it does any good. Maybe it felt good in 2016 to just be like, fuck you to those relatives or people in our lives. But I don't think that's going to get us anywhere at this point. And I'm still not sure what the solution is. So we'll just pump the brakes.
They sure do love to try to goad us into...
Yeah, try to make us... Yeah, and I don't know what benefit... Is that why you voted for him? To make people feel bad?
Some of them. Yeah, some of them. They love giving it to the libs. Sticking it to the libs. Yeah.
No. Yeah, there's just a lot of anxieties. And this particular Trumper that I was conversing with over at a family function did not seem anxious. But I am.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Anywho.
Yeah.
Let's stop talking about that. And
what are you consuming? What's bringing you joy?
Yes, what's bringing us joy?
Podcasts,
Let's
music,
talk about that.
shows, books. I've been reading a lot of books.
Oh, nice. I was going to say working on the podcast actually has been bringing me a lot more joy.
Say more about that, because I had the same thought today.
Since we changed this schedule and what we're doing, it's really been giving me a lot more space to enjoy it.
Yes. I hope the listeners can understand. I feel like maybe we didn't talk enough about why we're doing this. We did really briefly, but I mean, to do a true crime show that is not just all opinion and facts that haven't been checked out, it's a lot of work.
To write a script every week, research a story, and then also we would do an extra little mini episode for the
True Crime News.
Yeah, Patreons.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work.
It was a lot of work, and we did it for a long time, but our lives have changed dramatically, I'd say, over the last 5 years. Both of our lives. You know what I memean? And so it just kind of, we love this show. We love working together. We love each other. We love you, bye. But we could it would have had to say goodbye. To Fruitloops.
We would not
be
able to do it. Yeah, we want to keep doing the show.
Yeah. So I have felt the same. Like it's inserted an additional element of joy.
Yes.
To this
because
project.
I do love researching. I do love learning and everything that we do. It's just, when we were doing so much of it, it was hard to enjoy it. Yeah.
So I have really been loving the new schedule. And I hope the Fruities can understand and are still getting an enjoyable dose of Fruit Loops Serial Killers of Color. And in the weeks in between, enjoying Love You Bye.
Yeah.
So what are you consuming, my friend?
The only thing that I can think of right now is Daredevil on Disney Plus.
Oh.
They got a new season. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Been watching that.
That sounds like fun.
Waiting for that show to come out on Max. Forget what it's called. The one with the zombies.
Last of Us.
Last of Us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Girl, did you know Handmaid's Tale is back?
I did.
Did you watch it yet? Because I don't know if I can, given the state of things.
I am way behind on it because, I had a hard time watching it. You know, I watched the first couple of seasons, I think. Yeah. And then I had a really hard time watching it.
Seasons 3 and 4 were real rough. Or season 3 was real rough.
Yeah, I had a real hard time watching it. So I am way behind on it. Maybe someday I'll get back on it. But right now, I'm doing a lot of escapism.
Yes, sign me up. What time does the meeting start?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yep, exactly.
Love it.
My cat Freddie loves to be brushed and cuddled. But stirring up his cat allergens meant sneezing and itchy eyes. Then I found Purina One Live Clear. It's cat food that reduced the major allergen and my suffering in as little as 21 days. Now, we feel closer than ever. If you have issues with cat allergens, you really need to try Purina One Live Clear.
Try new Purina One Live Clear today. Purina One, a difference from day one.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Well, I have been doing a lot of escapism as well. You know, my housewives. I love.
Oh yeah,
I love the reality escapism. I also love Summer House and that baloney. I also love listening to podcasts about my reality TV. Watch What Crappens, about all the crap that happens on Bravo is my go-to. I also love Las Culturistas with Bo and Yang from SNL and Matt Rogers. They're two comedians and they're hilarious and they just talk about pop culture They could do one whole episode about Ariana Grande and then another episode about the Barbie movie. You know, like it's just fun. I also have been enjoying books. As I was saying, I was at the beach, and so I had a whole playlist downloaded on Libby of books to consume. And I'm getting through A Medical Apartheid, which isn't a fun book. It's not fun at all.
Yeah,
it's actually
that sounds
so
really
heavy
awful.
that I have to put it down. I've been trying to read that for a month. I read Detransition Baby, which is a book by a trans author, and it's about a bunch of different characters. Somebody does decide to detransition, and it's just about how like this family kind of deals with that. So Detransition Baby, I can't remember the name of the author, I apologize. And books about farming and homesteading and growing things. So yeah, that's what I've been consuming that has been bringing me joy. So if you have been consuming stuff that's been bringing you joy or doing things that have been bringing you joy, let us know. Also, if you have any ideas on resistance to get through these times, we are all ears, and we got to help each other out with this stuff. Am I right?
You are right.
So, friend, you know how I was disconnected? I don't really have like true crime news, nothing crazy. It's animal based.
Okay, I have some true crime news.
Okay.
Or some
news.
Odd news.
Okay.
Some news, yeah.
Let's do it. Let's get into it.
Okay, so this American YouTuber named Mikhailo Viktorovich Polyakov.
Oh.
He's American.
Oh, okay.
24-year-old YouTuber from Scottsdale, Arizona.
Oh.
Was arrested in India recently for illegally attempting to contact the isolated Sentinelese tribe?
Sentinelese?
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, Sentinel Island, so it must be Sentinelese tribe.
Okay.
Visitors are banned from traveling within 3 miles of that island.
Whoa.
Because the population of the island has been isolated from the rest of the world for thousands of years. And so the Indian government is protecting them, you know, trying to keep people from contacting them.
Yeah, because as we know, as we are witnessing before our eyes, colonialism ruins things.
Everything, yeah. So this stupid YouTuber went to the island. I mean, he'd been trying to do it, I guess, for a while.
What?
Yeah, he finally did it. He took a boat, I think.
Okay.
A dinghy or something to the island. Got there, he stayed on the beach for about an hour, blowing a whistle, trying to attract attention.
Are you serious?
He got no response.
Okay.
So he left a can of Diet Coke and a coconut as an offering.
What?
You know, he had it on the video, and then he left.
And he knew he was not supposed to do
He was
this.
not.
Clearly.
Yeah, he knew. He knew he was not. And the other thing about this island and the people that live on the island is that they are fiercely protective of their island, and they will attack if they feel threatened.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was just stupid all the way around.
Super stupid. Now, he's not the first YouTuber to try something crazy.
Right.
My concern is he's also not the first one to do something culturally gross. Like Logan Paul, one of the Paul brothers did the thing where they went to this forest in Japan that was a suicide forest, and they filmed there and disrespected
I remember
bodies. That. Yeah. But now Logan Paul has a hit show on HBO Max.
Yeah.
And so somebody like this kid in Scottsdale might see, well, look at Logan Paul.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he failed forward. He failed up.
Yeah.
And so I get that this kid has been arrested, but I don't know if it's the last that we'll hear from him.
He faces 5 years in prison. So we'll see what happens, but yeah.
Wow. Well, yeah, you know, culture is not like a game, you know, you can't really play with it. And he knew and tried repeatedly to do something that he wasn't supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not only was it, you know, just stupid, but he was endangering the people on the island too, you know?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, he knew better. He should have did better. And I think he's getting what he deserves.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of getting what you deserve, do you remember have you ever seen the hit movie Jurassic Park? It comes up a lot.
Yeah.
It comes up a lot for me. It's actually my favorite. And I thought of it because something was in the news.
I saw it.
The dire wolf is back.
Yeah,
remember those cute, fluffy white wolves from Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Well, there's 3 pups who have been. They're saying these are 3 dire wolves. Their names are Romulus, Remus, and Khaleesi, named after characters from Game of Thrones.
Oh, wow.
They've been unveiled by a company called Colossal Biosciences. But an article I read by Vox said, don't be fooled. These are actually more like designer dogs.
Yeah, they're not really dire wolves.
Yeah. So they're genetically modified, hybridized modern wolves that were gestated in the womb of a regular schmegular dog. And how did they do it? Well, DNA, doggy DNA. They used it of an existing gray wolf and included some traits from the long extinct dire wolves, like the white hair and the larger size, and used them to create viable embryos. And bada bing, bada boom. But de-extinction, don't get it twisted. It's not real.
Not really.
At least not in this case. Like it's also, remember what happened in Jurassic Park? They thought they could recreate dinosaurs that had been extinct for millions of years and everybody died. Experts are saying that it could be a mistake in that way. Experts are saying, remember how in Jurassic Park all the humans died? Well, with this dire wolf de-extinction, the harm is going to be on these creatures, right? You're creating a lot of problems for these animals.
Yeah.
Like surrogate parents, these newborn clones have no grown-up wolf to show them how to survive, right? They can never live in the wild. And so what are we really doing here? We spent all this time trying to, just like Dr. Malcolm said, we spent all this time trying to figure out if we could, that we never stopped to think if we should.
We should, yeah.
So
I think they're being very irresponsible.
Agreed. That's the word, irresponsible. And apparently they're planning on rolling out a woolly mammoth at some point in the future, which will just be a furry elephant. So, again, it's cool. Like, nobody would be more excited to have a velociraptor in my backyard than me, than this girl. But I also understand you can't play with nature like that.
Not a good idea.
Yeah. So.
Sergeant and Mr. Smith, you're gonna love this house.
Bunk beds in a closet?
There's no field manual for finding the right home. But when you do, USAA Homeowners Insurance can help protect it the right way. Restrictions apply.
So, I'm sure you've heard about Signalgate.
The group chat.
Yeah, the group chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that happened.
Yeah, it's more slow news. No big deal.
Yeah. So I'm sure everybody else has heard about it too. It was, war plans that they were using the Signal app to talk about. And
who among us hasn't texted our friends
and added a journalist to the group? Yeah. Well, it just reading about it and everything brought Pete Hegseth to my attention, which I knew about him.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't really know about him. I mean, I knew he was kind of like a bro, I knew he liked to drink and all that
it's
stuff.
It's worse than you thought, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You want to wash your brain out with soap.
I saw a picture of his tattoos. Have you seen his tattoos?
No, I've not seen a picture, but I've heard about him.
Yeah, he's definitely a white nationalist.
Yeah.
It's so disgusting.
Yeah.
And scary.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I did find a new podcast. It's called Straight White American Jesus.
Whoa. What?
Yeah. Straight White American Jesus.
Okay, tell me more.
One of the co-hosts, Brad Onishi, was talking about Pete Hegseth.
Okay.
And he was talking about how a lot of these white nationalists, they draw inspiration from the Crusades And so, like, some
crazy Christian,
yeah,
violent. Oh no!
And some of the symbolism is from the Crusades, and some of his tattoos are from the Crusades. You know.
Oh.
And so this guy Brad Onishi was saying that a lot of Christians don't see the Crusades as a high point in Christianity.
Oh, okay.
But the white nationalists do, and they use the symbology. And some of the terrorist attacks on, like, the Christchurch shooter was one of those guys. And another guy named Anders Breivik, who committed terrorist attacks in Norway.
Yeah.
He also had that kind of belief system.
So this is an aspect of the white nationalist movement that never occurred to me before.
Right.
They're kind of modeling themselves after the Crusades.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I didn't know that either. So that's the kind of stuff I like to learn about.
Yeah. No, like you're I learned something new. Oh,
yeah.
no.
Oh,
it's like,
This is terrible. Yeah. So I learned about that listening to Straight White American Jesus.
I just subscribed to this podcast and I'm horrified and looking forward to it. Well, I have one other little story. It's animal adjacent, but crime adjacent as well.
Oh, sweet.
Okay. This crime takes place in Georgia, Harris County, which is, I don't know where in Georgia that is. It's not Atlanta, though. And this surgeon, he's a reconstructive orthopedic surgeon, and he was a farmer. I don't know if he owned a farm or, like, had a farm side hustle. But he's been sentenced in the largest bird trafficking case in U.S. history. By the way, I got one of my kids a t-shirt that says, "I raise raptors," because we have birds. Anyway, so he was trafficking raptors, y'all, thousands of them.
Wow.
Rare and protected birds, some of them even apparently on the endangered species list, smuggling them into the United States. This doctor's name is John Waldrop. He's 76 years old and has been sentenced by a federal judge in Brooklyn to 3 years of probation. That's it. And he does have to pay a $900,000 fine for a violation of the Endangered Species Act. And his co-defendant got 6 months in prison. And Waldrop pled guilty to conspiracy to smuggle wildlife and Endangered Species Act violations. His collection of birds, you want to know how big it was?
How big?
It was enormous. He had 1,400 taxidermy birds. He had 2,600 eggs, including rare and endangered species eggs. Among the items were species protected, including the green shank eggs that are so rare that not a single museum in North America has any of them.
Oh, my God.
But he had some of them. And so the doctor, during his sentencing, told the judge, I've started to collect wood things to replace his obsessive hobby of collecting birds. But from 2016 to 2020, this man was importing birds from all over the world, Russia, Malta, Uruguay, and used eBay and Etsy to buy and sell his specimens.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Never would have thought eBay and Etsy.
I know. And I mean, if you didn't know that these birds were endangered species, you're just going on eBay. Hey, look, let me get that. Add I love birds. And then next thing you know, you're an accomplice to a federal crime involving endangered species.
Do that.
Oh, no. But I hope those animal lovers listening will be pleased to know that his collection will be turned over to zoos, research labs, and some museums. So there you have it.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have one last story.
Okay. Is there any murder involved in it?
No murder.
Yeah, all right. Look at us.
Okay.
Cleansing our palates.
It is a little scary, though.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay. So this happened in Kansas. Let me see. Where did it happen in Kansas? Barton County.
Oh.
Barton County, Kansas.
Okay.
So there's this babysitter taking care of some kids.
Okay.
And she's getting the kids ready for bed.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the kids complained about a monster under the bed. And so She looked under the bed to make sure that there's no monsters under there. And guess what?
Okay.
There was a monster under the bed.
What was it? A Gila monster?
It was a human.
Wait, who? What?
A 27-year-old man was hiding under the bed.
Are you serious?
Yes.
What happened? Is everybody dead? Is somebody going to jail?
Everybody's fine. Everybody's fine. He came out from under the bed, got into a scuffle with the babysitter, ran away. The police caught him. Turns out he once lived at the house.
What?
Not really sure what he was doing there.
Mm-hmm.
There was an order of protection. He was supposed to stay away from the property, so I'm not sure if somebody knew who he was.
There's a lot more there.
Yeah, there is a lot more there. I don't know the whole story, but yeah, that's what happened.
Wow, that's wild. Oh, there really was a monster under the bed.
There was a monster under the bed. So listen to your kids.
Seriously.
And to make sure there's no monsters.
Oh my gosh. Can you?
God. I just got to the end of the article and it says, in 2016, a Tennessee woman discovered her ex-boyfriend hiding under her bed.
This is a thing that happens?
Apparently so.
Oh my God.
So check your bed, friends.
Oh my God. Oh, you remember? Okay, so back in my life, having a bed on the floor has been a sign of like poverty, big poversons. Yeah. But
just a mattress on the floor.
Yeah. So like, I remember getting a bed frame in my adult life and feeling like I made it. My bed's not on the floor anymore.
Yeah,
success. And then. Now you
got to worry about people.
Now you got to worry exactly about intruders. So capitalism is a lie. Anyway, that was a good one. Wow, I hope that little baby is okay wherever they are.
They're okay.
So
they're all right. But I mean, yeah, that would be very scary.
Yes, indeedy. Well, listen, Beth, this has been fun.
Yeah,
catching up with
fun.
you. Yeah, we used to see each other every day in the office.
I know.
It's hard, but
it is.
This helps. So
it does.
You know what? And you listening, thank you also for being here with us.
Yeah, thanks
thank
everybody.
You for all of our fruities, new and old. We love and appreciate you. And we hope you come back next time.
Yeah.
Until then, love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Now, where can the people find us, Beth?
Our website is fruitloopspod.com, and we use Fruit Loops Pod for all of our social media. The footnotes for each episode can be found on our website. Plus, check it out for the different ways that you can support the show. You can also join us on Patreon, where we have hundreds of hours of bonus content. You can also support us by supporting our sponsors or by giving us a 5-star review.
5 stars only, please.
Also, don't forget to subscribe.
That's right. Now, this is a weekly podcast, and episodes drop on Thursdays. So until next time, love you. Bye. Okay, so I was like, oh, I'm so prepared. I get 5 stars. It probably is, but I don't know. I don't even have my phone. What kind of podcaster doesn't have her phone? Hang on a second.
Okay.
That's just the way it's going to be, and it'll be fine.
Yep, that's how it's going to happen.
We've done this before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all good.
It's cool.
It's cool. Okay, but the show must go on. Am I right?
You are right.
Okay.
You are correct.
I have my tea here. Wait a minute. My phone?
Oh.
It is in here. Wait a minute.
It was here the whole time.
It was here the whole time.
That's hilarious.
You, friend. I'm so sorry.
I should have called you.
Wow.
All right.
I was not blowing smoke. I love what we are doing now.
Yeah, me too. I wasn't blowing smoke either. I just realized this week that I'm actually enjoying it again.
I know.
Yeah.
Friend, me too. Me too. So I'm so glad we did this, and let's keep it up.
Yeah.
Keep up the great work. All right, my friend, I will get this audio in the drive and keep you posted on the details. Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay,
All right.
night.
Bye. Hey, Fruities, if you're into the kind of stories we tell here on Fruitloops Serial Killers of Color, then you'll love the podcast Ice Cold Case.
For some people, true crime stories are fascinating, gut-wrenching, and heartbreaking. But this investigation into the murder of John Cornelius McGee is as personal as it gets.
Ice Cold Case is a unique true crime podcast where the host and the daughter of the victim, Madison McGee, brings a powerful, personal, and deeply unique perspective to the true crime genre.
Yes, agree with all those things. Now, Madison fearlessly tackles the unknown and will stop at nothing to find out what happened to her dad on July 11th in 2002.
Each episode takes you on the journey of her independent investigation in real time.
Yeah, one of the many things I love about Cold Case is how Madison is able to balance the emotional side of this story while also focusing on fact-finding and truth-telling, from speaking to county officials to family members to even interviewing the police's main suspect in the case. That was wild.
Yeah.
Madison remains steadfast in her mission to solve her father's murder. And while the twists and turns may turn away even a seasoned journalist from moving forward, she just doesn't give up.
And you know what? This is the perfect podcast if you love a deep dive into a specific case and want to put on your own detective hat and explore this riveting mystery.
Yes. Told from the perspective of a daughter fighting for justice, for answers, and for closure, Ice Cold Case is the most personal true crime podcast and will make you feel like you're on this journey alongside Madison.
Part 3 starts in April. Find Ice Cold Case wherever you listen to podcasts.